valves in the air, time to winterize our vintage cruisers. This is real easy, something you can do. It'll take you less time than it takes you to hook your trailer up and run it down to an RV service center, which is going to cost you at least $100 for them to do it. So there's two different methods. You have the antifreeze method, which you'll need about 3 gallons of that if you want to do it that way. Or there's the air method, which the compressor probably costs you about 60 bucks, a hose, an adapter to hook into the city port. And then for both methods, you will need a 1 1/16 socket to take out the angle rod, and you will need at least a gallon even if you do the air method. So I prefer this method. I like it because I don't like the antifreeze sitting in my lines, and if I choose to take my trailer out, all I have to do is come back, blow the lines back out, throw a little antifreeze down the P-traps, I'm good to go. So let's get started. So we're going to pull right down here is 2 plugs. There we go, got those 2 plugs out. Now let's go inside. All right, so the next thing you want to do is open up all your faucets. Now on the shower, don't forget, if you have one, to open that switch so it drains down. Then we're going to get the bathroom here and the toilet. Alright, so now if you're either doing the antifreeze or the air method, you still need to kick on your water pump and make sure you get all the water out of the line going back to the fresh tank. Alright, so now we're going to drain the hot water tank, and it's really important that you make sure it's cooled down before you pull that plug. So the first thing you want to do is you want to release the pressure. Now, we're going to pull this ammo rod out. And you're going to get wet if you stand right in front of it. Just set that in there. Alright, we'll let that drain. Alright, so your next step would be to find your low point drain for your fresh water. I put a 1/4 turn valve just to make it easier. And you want to let that drain out. Alright, now that we have everything drained down, don't forget to put your 2 plugs back in there so your system is air and water tight. Alright, we've come back inside. We're going to bypass the hot water tank. We've drained it, so there's no reason to put antifreeze in it. That'd be a waste of 6 gallons. And we don't need to blow it out because we drained it down. So all you have to simply do, on the 19 ERD, it is right next to the sink under the dinette. So you just simply take these valves and turn them to where they run with the pipe. Alright, so if you want to do the antifreeze method, you'll need a couple gallons of antifreeze. And then you take that cover off, which I've made it easy to get to. And there's 2 valves. One here, which you close off, which goes to your tank. And then this siphon valve. So you just turn them opposite. And then you take this hose and you simply stick that in your gallon of antifreeze, turn your pump on, and then open your faucets and your toilet and your sinks and stuff until you get pink running throughout. Alright, when you're doing the antifreeze method, you also need to come out here and pull this little screen out, if I can get it to pop out. Anyways, pull that little screen out, and then there'll be a little check valve. You need to release that. And then don't forget about the spray port to run a little antifreeze to get any water that's in that line. Alright, and then you just have to put that back in there and Put that in there, and that should wrap it up for your antifreeze method. Alright, now for using the air method, you want to set your compressor somewhere around 30-40 pounds of PSI. You don't want to blow out any lines. So now we're ready to hook up our air. Make sure you've closed all your faucets so you can build up air pressure in the system. We've connected our city port inlet. Take our air compressor hose. There you go. Now we'll just start right here. The spray port. Now let's go inside. All right, we're inside. I like to start in the bathroom and work my way back. There's the cold. I usually like to do the toilet twice just to make sure. Alright, so we got our shower. Make sure we open that switch. Alright, that does it for the shower. Alright, now for the kitchen sink. Cold, hot, see? No air, no water. Alright, that does it for that. Alright, now we're going to take our antifreeze and we're just going to pour some right down the drain. That'll make it so that the P-trap doesn't do it, and then you do the toilet and the bathroom sink. All right, and we're going to throw a little bit down the shower drain. I know it's trapless, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And then a little bit down the bathroom drain. All right, so now you want to make sure you pour a little bit down the toilet to get into the black tank, and then a little bit there, and that'll help keep your seals from freezing up this winter. Alright, just to finish things off, make sure your tires are up to their proper cold tire pressure. Mine are Goodyear, so they're 65 psi. Last thing is make sure you check your batteries, make sure they're fully charged and topped off with distilled water, and then you should be ready to go. So, hey, another camping season done. Hope you guys have a good winter, and see you in the spring.